Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Hashem. Yahweh Shai Hashem Rakakwadash. Much mercy to you brothers out there. You know, you true believers, man. Hey, the Lord is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. It is here. It's nothing we're waiting on. I wanted to read a little bit, man. I was sitting here and I was just thinking, and the Lord wanted me to bring this out because the more we bring out Yahweh Shai, you notice the less guys talk about Yahweh Shai, and that just means that all these guys in these groups and shit, man, they're of the world, man. A lot of these guys, they're juiced in with Esau, and it's heavy. But what's even more heavier is that the spirit is against their ass. It's not with them. The multitudes are with them because the multitudes were set up to die. So the Lord's not with groups and temples. What's with them is the world. And the spirit is with his few men, man. It's a beautiful thing. But I want to read Luke chapter 7. And whatever the spirit gives me, I'll go into. But Luke 7:36, it says, and one of the Pharisees desire him that he would eat with him. And when he went into the Pharisee's house, he sat down to meat. So the Lord, he sat with a few of the Pharisees and shit. You had some righteous Pharisees, then you had them wicked ones. So the Lord went in and he sat down with this guy. Verse 37, and beheld a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahweh Shai sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, she brought an alabaster box of ointment and stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with her hairs of her head, and kissed his feet and anointed them with the ointment. Look at that, man. She was crying and weeping, man. Now the Pharisee, see, this is that what she was doing, weeping, wiping his feet with her hair, and kissed his feet and anointed them with the ointment. That's what the elect are doing right now. That's what the true men of the Lord are doing. They're kissing the Lord's feet. They're washing. They're taking care of the Lord in the spirit, basically, and they're thankful for the Lord. That's what she was showing. She was showing that she was really thankful for him and everything that he did, and she believed and she understood it, and she was forgiven. And that's the attitude of the men of the Lord. They're going to be thankful. You see, because the thing about it is, with your faith, you're going to show your works. And we understand it's not just by works, but it's more of you actually being connected with the Spirit and believing. And the scriptures talk about you being predestined. But you're going to show certain type of works, man, like this lady, like she was doing. Luke chapter 7, verse 38. And stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, did wipe them with her hairs and her head, and kissed his feet and anointed them with the ointment. So the men of the Lord, they're really taking care of the Lord in the spirit, exalting him, glorifying him. And I went into that word glorify. Part of glorifying the Lord is you're celebrating him, man. And that's why I say again, the Lord is the high holy day. Now verse 39, when the Pharisees which had bidding him saw it, he spake within himself, saying, this man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and manner of person this is that toucheth him, for she is a sinner. She is a sinner. You see? So this is the mind frame of a lot of you guys, man. You're carnal. You're not really looking at the Lord as something to be uh, to really be worshiping and really to be made known and glorified and honored. Instead, guys are here, they're getting the honor. Now, verse 40, it says, and Yahushua said unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And he said, Master, say on. You see? So that's the form of spiritual power right there, because Yahushua knew what he was saying in his mind. Let me read it back again. Luke 7:39. See, guys are looking for some carnal spiritual power. When you have the spirit of discernment, you know what men are thinking in their fucking mind, bro. Now, Luke 7:39. Now, when the Pharisees which had been in him saw it, he spake within himself, saying, This man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is, and toucheth him, for she is a sinner. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And he saith, Master, say on. There was a certain creditor had two debtors, and one owed 500 pence, and the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me, therefore, which of them will love him most? Simon answered and said, I suppose he to whom he forgave most. And he said unto him, Thou hast rightly judged. So the ones that are forgiven for a lot is going to show the most love. And this is another key where you're going to see that guys that are not glorifying Yahushua and not really teaching him and speaking of him, this is another way to show you that guys don't have any connection with the spirit. And then let alone they're telling you you have to wait on spiritual power, when the power that they're looking for they're not going to get, because the power that's here now is the power to discern. And if a lot of you stupid ass guys really had the spirit and you could discern, you'll see that your elders and you'll see all these groups and all these Nate and everybody, Sakar, you see every one of these big ass camps and these groups, they don't have nothing to do with the Lord. They're just teaching the Bible, and they're in the way of progress. Actually, they're trying to, these groups were set up to slow down the progress. So, in a sense, when you look at this, right, the lady that had been forgiven, she was praising the Lord, you know. She was praising the Lord with tears. She kissed his feet. She anointed him. And she was doing all that she could to show that she was thankful unto him. And that's why if men are not speaking about the Lord in this time like that, that just means that they don't have nothing to do with the Lord. And what they're doing is they're using this word to make money, to be seen. You see? Guys are a bunch of fucking clowns. They don't understand that the spiritual power they think they're talking about, brothers have that already. The power to discern faith and judgment, to be able to judge situations, you see, through the spirit. So Simon answered the Lord. He said, I suppose that he who he forgave most, and he said unto him, Thou hast rightly judged. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, Seest thou this woman? I entered into thine house, and thou givest me no water for my feet, but she has washed my feet with tears and wiped them with her hairs of her head. So she because she been forgiven. I love this parable too, man. It's certain parables in here that I love. I love everything of the Lord, but it's just certain things that really make you see who's really of the Lord or not. You know what I'm saying? Because by her doing this act, she was really appreciative of the Lord. So she just, she glorified him more. She took care of him more. And that's what guys, they are not in this spirit. They're in the spirit of that wicked Pharisee. that was looking down on her for kissing his feet and cleaning his feet. He looked down on her for that. That's a lot of you guys, because if you're not glorifying the Lord or making the Lord first and celebrating the Lord's high holy days, not these fucking new moons, that just means that you're not forgiven. You're a fucking lowlife, man. The Spirit sees every one of you guys. That's why we advise you guys to get out of these large groups, man. It's gonna get real bad for these guys in these groups, because they're getting the honor here. And if the Lord said he didn't get no fucking honors, why are not guys righteous enough to be like, hey, we don't deserve no double honors? Because they're not righteous, man. And none of you guys in these groups, you're not righteous at all either. None of you guys are glorifying the Lord. If you look around on guys' videos, because the Bible is all about the Lord. He through him, there is no mercy. Through him, you're not getting on no chairs. Without him, like, hey, the Lord said, without him, you can't do a goddamn thing. And guys are not teaching that because they were the murderers of the Lord. Remember, man, they said, let his blood be on us and our children. So you have the children of those that gave the Lord up back in this time. And what they're doing is they're not glorifying the Lord. They're using the Lord to make money. You see? You don't have shit. These guys, man, all they are is a bunch of goddamn newscasters, man. All you guys teaching these videos, man. You don't have nothing to do with the Lord. And none of you guys in these groups are in the covenant with the Lord. So that means none of you guys in these groups, you don't even agree with the Lord. So the spiritual power you think that you're going to get when you get some new bodies, you're never going to get those. You're never going to get those. That's a joke. You guys are a joke. Because for one, this lady right here is like an allegory for the elect, what they're going to be doing. They're going to be praising the Lord and they're going to be glorifying the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not really glorifying the Lord like that, then that means that you're not even forgiven and the Lord's not with you. Now, like I made that video earlier, the ones that receiving the Lord, right? Now in John chapter 15, let me come back to this real quick. You know, he didn't call us no more servants, but he called us friends. So what you got to understand about that, the Lord does the choosing. Let me read it. John 15:15. Henceforth I'll call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. So a lot of guys, they're not friends of the Lord. So that means they're not friends of the power. So they're not in the covenant with the Lord right now until they get their bodies. So they don't have nothing to do with the Lord. You see? These guys are set up with the world against the Lord, but they're using him. So the judgment on these guys is going to be like real bad. It's going to get real bad for you guys. It's going to get real bad. And you guys are carnal, so you don't have no understanding of what the Lord's really going to do to you fucking guys, man. You see, you guys that's carnal, you don't have no control over shit. You're everything that you're thinking is fucking carnal. You see? Like I said, a lot of you guys, you look real bad, man. And I know I'm older than a lot of you guys, man. You see, I'm in my 40s, man, and I ain't gonna lie. I don't even have grades like that. I probably got like 1 or 2 grades. You know, I got a couple grades here and there. But if you look at guys, they look bad, bro. And it's not because of the wisdom. No, it's because guys are waxing. They're wicked. Their conscience ain't sitting well with them. You see? Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, I'm older than some guys, man. And we still got our fucking our our youth about us, man. You see? But that's neither here nor there. But the thing is, the scripture tell you about the countenance of a man. You see, guys don't have a cheerful countenance. Matter of fact, let me read this real quick. I'm gonna come back to John 15. Because by them saying that they're waiting on bodies and they're not in the covenant with the Lord, what that does is you're not in the spirit. You're not in the spirit. Yeah, here it is right here. Sirach 13:25. The heart of a man changeth his countenance, whether it be for good or for evil. Whoo. So your heart, you could see like if your ass is evil just by looking at your ass. We can see like shit ain't right for you guys. It says, and a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. And a lot of guys, they don't look cheerful, man. They look worried and weak. Verse 26, Sirach 13:26. A cheerful countenance is a token of a heart that is in prosperity. And the finding out of parables is a wearisome labor of the mind. You see? So a cheerful countenance is a heart that's a good heart. That's actually the prosperity is the richness of the Lord, the riches of the Lord. That's what you're prospering in. Now, if you have the Lord's word and you don't look right, that means you're fucking evil and you're not really prospering in the spirit. You see what I'm saying? So by the countenance that guys have, you could tell them that their hearts are not right. So going back to John 15:16, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. Right. So when guys say that they're not in the covenant with him, they're letting you know that the Lord didn't choose them. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't agree. They didn't receive the Lord. Like going back to John 17. So it's heavy. What's happening is guys are telling on themselves by how they look, what they're saying, and what they're teaching. These are all things letting you know that guys don't have shit to do with the Lord. On some real shit. So I want to go back. Yeah, so hey, the Lord chose certain men out of the world. And the world hates them. Yeah, so guys that have this fucked up countenance, that means their hearts, deep down, they're fucking evil, man. So going back to this lady in Luke chapter 7, and if you really love the Lord, you're going to go all out. You see what I'm saying? I was just sitting here and I was just thinking, and the Lord like, hey, just do that. Do that lesson on that. Because what you see is you got a whole lot of guys teaching, but if you're of the Lord and if you're his friend, you're going to be defending him. The scripture says, I won't be afraid to defend a friend. And by you glorifying him and teaching him, therefore he defends you, and he's glorifying you in the heaven. Because a lot of guys, like the scriptures say, he that is offended in me. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find this real quick. I think it's in this chapter, yeah, going up. Luke chapter 7, verse 22. Then Yahushua answered them and said unto them, Go your way and tell John what things ye have seen and heard, how that the blind see and the lame walk, and the lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear, and the deaf are raised, and the dead are raised, and to the poor the gospel is preached. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. A lot of guys, they're offended in the gospels and then in the Lord. The Lord, when you go into the Lord, like we've been breaking down, the gospels have their own high holy day, which is the Lord. The gospels, they have their own Sabbath, which is the Lord. the Gospels, they have their own Passover, which is the Lord's. And guess what? All these things are spiritual. So a lot of guys, they're offended in Yahushua. That's why they don't have you keeping the Lord's high holy day, because they can't. You can't put new wine in the old bottles. On some real shit. It's heavy like that, man. Let me see, man. Yeah, you can't put new wine in the old bottles. And guys are stuck with that old covenant. So the majority of those guys that's in these groups, they're teaching you to keep the old laws and shit, and they're not advancing you to Yahushua. They got you stuck in that carnal mind frame. Therefore, what we're talking about, the new covenant, it don't have any place with you guys. Hey, like the Lord told them when he was on trial, he said, my words don't have a fucking place in you guys. Hey, and it's the same thing right now. Guys think they're hating us and they're offended at the Lord and all that. You don't really hate us. It's just that the true words of the Lord, like the Gospels, where his words are written in red, they don't really have a place in everybody like that. So now going back to Luke 7, jumping down in 44. And he turned to this woman and said unto Simon, seest thou this woman? I entered into thine house, and thou givest me no water for my feet, but she has washed my feet with tears and wiped them with her hair. Thou gavest me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came, and have not ceased to kiss my feet. And we won't cease from glorifying the Lord. We won't cease, because he is the key. Now you see, like, groups and camps and guys, their main conversation is not Yahushua. So they're not forgiven of their sins because they're holding on to the old covenant too. You see, so by you holding on to the old covenant, there's no mercy there and there's no forgiveness of sins. You're just stacking sins on each other. And that's why they were set up to teach. See, you could be famous in this world as long as you're teaching death. You see what I'm saying? But when you start to teach life, then your life is in danger. You see? So it's heavy. It's very heavy, man. Now it says, but with oil thou didst not anoint, but this woman have anointed my feet with ointment. Wherefore I say unto thee, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loveth much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. So that these guys are showing you that they're not forgiven, because they don't even love the Lord like that. They're a bunch of clowns. All their videos are in vain. And he said unto her, thy sins are forgiven. And they sat at meat with him and began to say within themselves, who is this that forgiveth sins also? And he said unto the woman, thy faith have saved thee. Go in peace. By her believing on Yahushua, because she showed an extreme amount of love and faith towards the Lord. Going back to Abraham, how he proved himself unto the Lord. And this is the same way. When you're forgiven, you're going to prove yourself. Like she showed herself to the Lord like she was really for him. And that's what's showing in these last days. So if you're not really showing that, teaching the Lord, glorifying him, putting him first, if you're not doing that and celebrating his high holy days now, you have to celebrate his high holy days in the spirit. That means that he's your Passover. That means when you're in the spirit, the death angels pass over you. Hey, these guys, man, these guys in these groups, like I said, they have an evil countenance. It's not a cheerful countenance. It's a demonic countenance, man, because Satan is in there. Because they're not exalting Yahushua, because Yahweh Shai, remember, he chooses who he chooses. So through the spirit, you can see the Lord is not choosing guys in these groups because they're wicked. They got a fucked up countenance. But with that, man, he that loveth much is gonna go all out. You see what I'm saying? And if you just have it, if you have the Lord in you, hey, the scripture tell you that the Lord did like so many miracles that the book couldn't even contain how much shit he did, bro. So keep that in mind. When you brothers are doing your videos, you think you do so many videos and you try to hasten and do your videos and we don't have to do this and do that. Well, if you look at it, you gotta line yourself up with the Lord. The Lord did works it couldn't even be counted. So you have to be in that mind frame of loving much. You see? Because we don't have that much longer. You see? Much love to all you brothers out there holding the Lord down. You see? He that loveth much hath been forgiven for much. And he that loveth little hath been forgiven for little. Remember that little is not going to make it. By her loving much, the Lord said, thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace. So by you having that faith, you'll actually have some peace in these times. You see? You'll have peace in the spirit. That's why the Lord, he's the Sabbath. Because now in the spirit, you have peace. You see what I'm saying? It's not nothing carnal anymore. In the spirit, you have peace. Now, in these guys' spirit, they don't have peace because they don't have the faith and they don't love the Lord. And with that, shalom. Othello on the beat.